Hello, Hana the Suburban Witch here, and welcome to my new mini-series, which is called Troubleshooting for Witches. This is episode 1. Why isn't my spell working? Now, this is a complex question to answer because there's a lot of different things that can go wrong. So I'm going to answer a few of the top ones here in this episode, and then in episode 5, I'm going to give you a few extras. Rule these ones out first, and then if it's still not working, then you're going to have to go to episode 5. Now, if you're new to me or who I am or my channel, welcome. I'm Hana. I'm a professional tarot reader, astrologer, and witch. I'm the host of the Witch Talks podcast. Give us a listen. You will learn, I swear, like the main thing with that podcast is that I want you to leave every episode learning something new, and you absolutely will. And obviously, I help people learn the tarot, learn witchcraft, all of that. You can book one-on-one with me. I can give you a one-on-one lesson if you want. You can do my course, The Art of Psychic Divination, but I'm not going to get into all of that. We don't need to do that right now. If you want to know more about me, head to the links in the description box. But basically, you got a problem, I can help you with it. All right, so your spell is not working. Why? My very first question is going to be, where did you get this spell from? Is it from Pinterest? Which is fine. Sometimes there are good spells on there, but a lot of the time there are not. Where did you find it? Where are you getting this from? Did you create it yourself? That's going to be a big thing. I'd love to know if you can pop in the comments where you're finding your spells, where you're getting that information from, because I can let you know whether it's a valid resource or not. So we're going to do 3 things here. The very first one is tracking. Are you tracking your spell work? How do you know it didn't work? Obviously, there are some things that we're going to know straight away, okay? If you're doing a money spell for fast money and no fast money comes to you, you know that spell didn't work. But what I want you to do is, if you're not already doing this, you can either do this in a notebook, in your book of shadows, or use an Excel document, right? Excel documents are wonderful for tracking this sort of stuff. So what you're going to do, you're going to write what the date is, what your spell was, what recipe you used, like where you found the spell, what you did exactly, and anything that you noticed during the spell. Maybe even put a section for your mood. That can be really interesting. And the moon cycle, which you can find out later if you want to, if you just have the date there. So you got all that information, and then you're going to put your expectations, right? I expect to get money within the week. Every couple of days or a week later, whatever it is, you come back and you say whether or not you got money. This is just specifically for a money spell. If you didn't, then you're going to put like red through the whole thing. If you did, green, sweet, that is a good spell that can continue forward. But what you're going to do for every single thing that you do, you want to be tracking them, okay? Because then you can go back. Sometimes there are long-term spells and you go back and you're like, oh wait, that actually did happen. Just took a little longer than I expected, or blah, blah, blah. So this is like a working spreadsheet, guys. And I know this doesn't sound very witchy to have a spreadsheet or to track things like this. But trust me, this is how you learn at the start. Now, I don't need to track my spells. I still do with a lot of them, especially the big ones or the really specific ones. But if I'm doing a money spell, a creativity spell, a clarity spell, I'm not tracking that because I know what works because I've done it in the past. I'm a Virgo. So I do these things these ways to make sure it works before I teach you about it, all right? So you want to be tracking them. Sometimes this can show you what went wrong. If you do the same spell 3 times and it never works, that's a shitty spell. If you do the same spell 3 times and one time it doesn't work, maybe that was the time you used a substitution. Maybe that was a time your mood was really low. Maybe that was a time that the moon cycle was different, right? You're going to start seeing patterns. I'm also neurodivergent. Pattern connections is kind of my thing. You might not be. This spreadsheet will help you. So that is the very first step to troubleshooting your spells that aren't working. Tracking them, knowing what went wrong. That's the only way you're going to do it. My second question to you is, did you do some divination beforehand? Now, not all spells require divination prior to doing them, but it's something you should get in the habit for, because not all spells are going to be good for you, right? Pull out your favorite divination type, whether that's tarot cards, oracle cards, pendulum. You can ask a simple yes, no. Should I do this spell? That's going to help you a lot. What Look at the outcome. What happens if I do it? What happens if I don't? What happens if I do it on a different day? What happens if I use a different spell? There are different things you can look at to make sure it's the best possible thing to go forward. Sometimes there are other things at play that you don't know about that are going to mess with your spell work. That's why we do divination. You can also ask your tarot deck, what can I do to increase the effectiveness of this spell that I'm doing? Trust me, divination will save you so much time and so much effort. If you have no idea when it comes to divination, go to suburbanwitchery.com/courses. I have a divination course. It's open for enrollment 2 times a year. Get on that waitlist because that will teach you so many different types of divination. And like one of my students, Laura, has said, she went into it thinking tarot was her forte, but by being exposed to over 10 different types of divination, she realized tarot was not actually her forte and it was something else. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. All right, and the very last thing we're going to talk about today, did you tell anyone about the spell? Because that's a big no-no. We don't tell anyone, especially not in the first 24 hours at the very least. So when you do your spell, do not take a photo of it and post it on social media. When you do your spell, do not message your best friend and say, oh my God, I just did this spell. Keep it to your damn self. Close your mouth. Don't tell anyone. I know it can be hard. I'm a talker. I get it. Don't tell anyone. Keep it to yourself for a minimum of 24 hours, but if at all possible, just don't tell anyone at all. Once it's come through, then you can tell people. But until then, keep it to yourself because telling somebody else is also going to interfere with it. So let me know. Is your spell not working and you've tried these things and it's still not working? That hasn't helped you? Or come back after you've tried all these and ruled them out. Come back and let me know if it does help you as well. I'd really, really like to know. If you have any specific questions for like troubleshooting for witches, let me know because this is a new series I'm going to be doing and I'm happy to help you guys with what you actually want help on. So let me know in the comments what your biggest questions are around your witchcraft. I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world today. I'll chat with you next time.